Hello and welcome to this screencast of how to use SISO. SISO stands for Stock In, Stock Out, and it's our online booking system that handles all of the camera, sound and lighting equipment we have in the department. It also allows you to book rooms and computer workstations. It's used by staff and students to book equipment, and without joining the system you can't borrow anything. The system is separate from other university systems, so you will have to complete the registration process even if you've activated every other university email. To get to SISO, you can find a link on the home page of all the browsers in the gatehouse. So you go to the Broadcast Lab help page, and then you can click on the SISO link down here on the links on the right hand side. Before you can begin using the system, you need to complete the registration process. Once done, you'll get access to some seriously good camera, lights and sound equipment. One thing to note is that when you first register, certain pieces of equipment are restricted. These pieces have been restricted because they require you to attend a training session before you can take them out. You're welcome to talk to Rich or Layla about training sessions on these pieces. So to register, you go to account registration, and it's much like other online forms. I'm sure you've all done them before, but you'll need name, date of birth, course, and then we need some addresses, so local addresses where you're living at the moment at university, and then your home address and which address you'd like to be contacted, usual sort of usernames and passwords, and then the terms and conditions. So it would be worth running through these and realizing what you're signing up to. Really important ones to look out for are, let me just navigate down here a second, all requests should be made at least 24 hours in advance. So in order to guarantee equipment, you want to be making a request at least a day before. The signatory, here after the borrower, is responsible for the equipment loaned. So whatever you borrow, you are responsible for. You may be asked to provide identification on collection of the equipment, and equipment can't be sub-loaned to any other borrower. Damage to equipment will incur repair costs to the borrower, and loss of equipment must be reported as a matter of urgency, and replacement costs will be charged to the borrower. Now this brings me on to the issue of insurance. The university insures any item which is worth more than £2,500. So any of the high-end cameras that you borrow, you will have insurance from the university. However, anything below £2,500, which is quite a lot of equipment that you might borrow, is not insured by the university, so you might want to look into your own insurance to make sure that you have those items covered. But do be aware that anything under £2,500 you will not be insured by the university, so that is your responsibility. Okay, so once you've registered, you have to come and see one of the technical demonstrators who can activate your account. We've put this in place so that rogue users can't begin using the system. Once your account has been activated, you can begin to book equipment. I'm going to log in under my student account. In we go, and here we have the SISO page. So first tab that we get to is the welcome, and there are some video tutorials if you want to have another look at making a booking or completing a risk assessment. How to register, they're all on there, so do dive into those if you'd like a bit more information on how to use the system. We will go into bookings for now. We can have a look what we've got in here. So we have 4 different sites. Okay, so AWM stands for Arts Work Media. Broadcast is all the equipment that's stored in Newton. Corsham is one of our satellite sites, which is based over in Corsham, the other side of Bath, and Publishing is based over in the Dairy with Gemma and Gavin. So Artswork Media is down in Bristol, Broadcast is in Newton, Corsham is in Corsham, the other side of Bath, and Publishing is in Dairy. All these different sites have different levels of equipment. Artswork Media is mainly used by third years and has a lot of high-end digital filmmaking equipment. Broadcast has lots of cameras, lighting and sound equipment. Corsham again has video cameras and audio recorders, and Publishing is more geared towards still photography. So I'm going to dive into the broadcast section here, and we have various subsections, so computers, grip and lighting, sound equipment, video cameras. And you have a look at the video cameras, there's all our different video cameras. So there's quite an easy way of navigating through the equipment to find what you want. If you click on the video camera section, you'll see that the other place updates and shows you just video camera equipment. You can also use the name field to search. So if I choose all equipment and then choose Z1 as a camera and filter that, you can see I've just filtered down to the Z1 camera, and I can see a little picture of it by clicking on that. If I just delete that, oh, actually let's have a look at this. Training required. So certain piece of equipment will need training. The higher end cameras, the higher end lighting equipment, and the grip equipment all require training. So before you do the training session, you'll see this mark here. Once you've done the training session with me or Layla, we will put your name on the authorized users list, and you'll be able to use and book the equipment. So this will disappear and it will turn into an add to basket icon. So if I dive down here and say I want to book a set of headphones, I can add to basket. Quantity, I'll have one set of headphones, and then if I show basket, I should be able to request a time slot. So we go from here to here. And you obviously have to tick I have read the terms and conditions and press finish. Okay, so a reservation has been made and is booked. Me and Layla police the system, so we will be aware of what bookings are going on, and for little things like headphones we won't really ask you to do a risk assessment, but if you're taking out a whole load of camera equipment and taking it off site, will require you to complete a risk assessment. So once you've made your booking, you can go over to the welcome screen and choose risk assessment. Now don't forget there is a tutorial about this on the front page of SISO, but this basically allows us to get as much information off you as possible with regards to how you're going to be using the equipment. So with large loans that are going to be taken off site, we ask that you complete a risk assessment. This is a document that makes you think about the potential risks and hazards you might face whilst using our equipment. It's a document that you will make, and it's a document that will make you and the equipment safer whilst you're using it. Once you've requested your items, you can navigate over to the risk assessment section of SISO. The risk assessment section is broken down into various sections that should give us all the information about what you do. Okay, so let's have a look. So we're asking you to give the risk assessment a title and a date of the equipment collected. Add a description below, and we're not talking about filming in Bath. That's far too vague for us. We want to know street names, times, locations. All of that information is good stuff, so we know exactly where and when you're going to be doing stuff. Similarly with people at risk, we want to know every person that's going to be involved and equipment being used. And when you click on equipment being used, you can see that my headphones booking has popped up, so I can put that in and then my headphones appear in there. Locations, again, add location, give us a name, postcode, description. Emergency procedures, if you have any first aiders with you, you can get those contact details in there. Nearest hospital, nearest police station, there's all good stuff to know and have on a form whilst you're out in the field. Lists of potential risks and activities, here's a good one. So to add an activity, you simply click on the add activity button, you can enter it in here. We do however have a long list of activities that might fit the bill. So if we hand down to here on location, for example, we choose night operation and put a plus sign in there. Oh, let's remove that from the list, and then you can see we have a description of the hazards, and you can tick who's at risk, and then the potential outcome and likelihood of incident. Here we want you to rate how serious it is. So working at night with a set of headphones is a minor risk. Likelihood of incident, unlikely. And then here's a little control measure that we've got in there. So provide all crew with torches, provide battery operated lighting where possible, and then if you give us a kind of rating of the risk as well. So I'd say that was tolerable. And then go back to the list and see if there's any other on there, any other risks on there that you might be able to put into your risk assessment. And we've tried to kind of cover all bases, so hopefully there'll be something in there that'll fit the bill. If you have any other documents, you can upload them, and then finally send it to the approval lecturer. And there's only one because me and Layla policed them, so send it to the HCI risk assessment approval and then hit save. Oh, I didn't describe the activity or list the potential risks, so maybe I'll go back and do that. I'll get rid of this one actually. It's a blank one. And then I should be able to save this now. Risk assessment has been saved. An email has been sent to requesting approval from your chosen lecturer. So at this point, me and Layla will have a look at the risk assessment. It might get sent back to you, asking you to fill in some other bits and bobs, or it might be approved. So do be aware that if you're taking equipment off-site or taking a large amount of camera equipment to film on-site, then you will be required to complete a risk assessment. Hopefully you'll be able to understand how to do this. There is a video tutorial if you need a little bit more help. So hopefully that shows you a little bit of how to use SISO. Obviously if there's any questions, come and see me and Layla, and we'll be happy to help. Okay, until next time, bye bye.